Coach Gene Clemens back once again. We are in the top 10. I'm really excited. 10-6. We're going to have on this episode right now, again, top 25 players in Savannah. This is my opinion. This is preseason. This is 2022. We're not talking about all time. We're not talking about what it's going to look like at the end of the season. We're talking about right now and the top 10 guys right now. I'm excited. Like I told you before, my criteria, not just what you did last year. What potential do you have to do great things? And what impact are you going to have on your team? So it's needless to say that the top 10 guys are going to have the most impact on their team this year. We're going to get it started right now as we speak. Number 10, Jaden Boone, the senior offensive and defensive lineman for Johnson High School. He is the heart and soul of the offense and defensive line. If he is not out there, if he is not balling to his highest level, his highest potential, they will not have success. There will not be success in Johnson High School if Jaden Boone is not out there playing the way he is capable of playing. This is a young man who is extremely intelligent as an offensive lineman. He knows how to get into you. He knows how to run his feet. He also is a really, really good defensive lineman, especially as a 30 front, 4 technique, 5 technique. He can play inside. He's versatile. He can be a guard. He can be a tackle. He could probably even play center if you needed him to play center. And that level of experience, because he's been playing for 4 years, that level of understanding of the game to be able to help his team is why he is going to be a stalwart on this offensive and defensive line for the entirety of the season. If Johnson High School is successful this year, Jaden Boone will be one of the main reasons why. Up next, we've got a guy who is playing as a junior. This is going to be his junior year and playing on a team as a returning, as a returning starter on a championship level team, a team that feels they have enough talent in place to come back and do it again, despite the people that they lost. It's a lofty goal because they lost some really, really good people. But when you watch a guy like Bryce Baker play linebacker, you can understand why they have so much confidence, because he is a really good instinctual linebacker who uses his athleticism to hunt the ball, not just to be, around the ball, but to hunt the ball. Now, I hear little Tweety birds that he might be playing more outside than he is playing inside this year. You know what? Whatever they need him to do in order to be successful, they'll have him do. But he has the athleticism to play anywhere as a linebacker. I think that the best thing for him is inside, because he runs sideline to sideline. He brings that pop with him, but that coaching staff sees him every day. So if they think he can give them more as an outside linebacker, then that's where he'll play. But regardless of where he plays at, he's going to have an impact. They will not achieve what they want to achieve this year if Bryce Baker isn't a main cog in this defense. That's why he's at number 9. Now, at number 8, we go over to a private school, and we haven't actually heard from this private school. I haven't actually had anyone else in this private school as of yet, I don't believe. Now, I could be wrong because, again, 25, and I get him a little bit confused sometimes, so maybe I have. But I think this is their first showing on this list, and it's a great place to show at. You know why? Because it is a freshman who is going to be, you know what? I shouldn't even say going to be. He is a freshman who is already a monster. He is already one of the best defensive linemen in the country, and he's going into his sophomore year. I am talking about Elijah Griffin, the defensive lineman over at Savannah Christian. Elijah Griffin has offers from everybody, offers from all over the country, and it's easy to see why. 6'6", 200, and oh my gosh, explosiveness, long arms, that motor. He is going to be a handful. And now, think about this. He was doing that last year as a freshman. So now he's had an entire offseason to get into the weight room, to really start to understand his body, to really gain confidence in what he does. And when his body actually matures out, he's going to be an almost impossible guy to block. You're not going to be able to just block him with one guy. You're going to have to commit two guys to him. You're going to have to use a running back to chip or a tight end to chip. He is just not here for the games. He is going to be a load. He is ultra athletic, and being that athletic and that big, Savannah Christian will not be what they want to be if this young man is not a major factor for them on Friday nights. And that is why he is at number 8 right now. That's once again Elijah Griffin, the sophomore, fantastic phenom from Savannah Christian. Now, moving over, we're getting down into it. I know I told the guys at Jenkins that I had 4 people on the list. 2 of them have already been named, and here is the third one. I love this young man because very similar to Amarion Scott, and by the way, they both wear the same number. Very similar to Amarion Scott, he lets his play do the talking. He's not really too much for the rah-rah and the smack talk or beating on his chest. He lets his play do the talking, and his play spoke loudly last year, running for 1,000 yards for the Warriors. None other at number 7, Josh Pridgeon, the senior running back from Jenkins High School. Josh, once he was able to be featured as the feature back, once Demazio Harris moved on, he blossomed. And you can see right there the burst, the explosion to be able to get out in a track meet and just take off and go. He has great balance. He's so much tougher than you would initially think. Just looking at him, you think, oh, well, he's a smaller guy. He might be a little slight, but look at how he runs through tackles. He's never been afraid to get his jersey dirty. He was a load for everybody that he had to face. And again, I think one of the things that separates him from Scott is that he has that home run hitting ability. It's not that Scott doesn't have the ability to take it all the way to the house, but I don't think Scott is as sudden as Pridgeon is. And that's why right now, Pridgeon sits in the top 10 and Scott sits just outside of the top 10 at number 12. But I do believe that Josh Pridgeon is the best back overall in the city of Savannah, closely followed by Amarion Scott. But Josh Pridgeon is the one, and it is going to be up to all of the running backs in the city to come and get him. He's going to get carries. He plays in an offense that's tailor-made for a running back like him, and he has the durability, the physicality, and the explosiveness to run for another 1,000 yards this season. And so if the Warriors want to have success this year, Josh Pridgeon is going to be a major part of that success. If he's not, then there's a good chance that the Warriors are not achieving the level that they want to achieve. And that's the name of the game in this top 10, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be able to move the needle with your presence. Speaking of moving the needle, how about this? When you have offers as a quarterback from the who's who of college football, and yet you have to sit behind another quarterback who has offers from the who's who of college football. So the coaching staff says, hey, let's not put him at wide receiver. Let's put him at strong safety. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Kromenhoff is our number 6 player in our top 25 in Savannah. Whenever you're a quarterback and they say, hey, we believe in you so much that we want you to play strong safety, that says everything that we need to know about your physicality, about your athleticism, and about what they think of you in their scheme. So now take all of that physicality, that athleticism, and put it into a quarterback. It is going to be scary watching this young man learn the game over the next 2 years from the quarterback position at a high level. You see how he's finishing plays. You see that athleticism. Look at him on the kickoff team. You're going to see a lot of highlights, by the way, that are not of him throwing the ball. But make no mistake about it, Florida State didn't give this guy a scholarship offer, and he didn't commit to Florida State to play linebacker or strong safety. He committed to play quarterback. He just happens to have that other skill set that I always say makes you a plus, because now you force teams to play 11-on-11 football with an actual legitimate athlete. That's what Luke Kromenhoff is. That's what he brings to the table. He's going to have a tough test tonight versus Jenkins in that vaunted defense, but Jenkins is going to have a tough time corralling him as well. I look forward to watching the highlights and then watching the game later on and seeing exactly how this young man goes against all of those talented players over at Jenkins High School. If Benedictine wants to have success this year, I've said it before, but it will be because that young man, Luke Kromenhoff, is out there playing a high-level brand of quarterback play for them. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is 10-6. Let's review it. At number 10, Jaden Boone out of Johnson. Number 9, the junior Bryce Baker out of Benedictine. At number 8, the sophomore out of Savannah Christian, Elijah Griffin. At number 7, the final running back on the list, Josh Christian out of Jenkins High School. And at number 6, Luke Kromenhoff, the junior cornerback out of Benedictine. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because at 4 o'clock, we'll be dropping the top 5. That is 5 down to 1. Who's going to be number 1? Who do you believe is going to be number 1? I know, and I want you to know. So make sure you come back and check it out for yourself.